WNBA injury leaves Caitlin Clark's teammate with a tough personal decision. Whenever a pro athlete gets injured, everyone worries about their return, how rusty they'll be, or if they'll ever play the same again. Rarely do we think about the personal side of things. And recently, Sophie Cunningham, dealing with her own setback alongside Caitlin Clark, opened up about one tough personal choice her injury might force her to make. This season, Cunningham suffered a season-ending MCL injury. While she's on track to return by 2026, life doesn't stop between seasons. She loves playing basketball, but she also loves slipping into heels. A small joy her injury has put on pause for now. In the latest episode of Show Me Something, that's exactly what the Fever star discussed, reminding us of her love for heels. She said, "I'm 6 feet 1 inch and I like to wear heels. Actually, I don't know if my new knee will allow that." Her response regarding heels was actually part of a bigger question. Her co-host, West Wilson, had actually asked her about what she looks for in a potential boyfriend. One of the requirements was that the guy be at least 6 feet 4 inches tall, so when they are out together, Sophie doesn't actually look taller than him. While it may seem a strange topic of conversation, Sophie's podcast is all about all things life conversations. Coming back to Sophie's love for heels, there's plenty of proof out there. One funny example was shared by the Sports Geek on Facebook in August. When your car breaks down but you're still down for the photo shoot, the page captioned a video of Cunningham confidently strutting in heels, saying, "I walked here today, my car broke down." A staff member quickly voiced what everyone else was thinking. "In the heels? Are you lying?" Well, Sophie cleared that up. She wasn't lying. She actually did walk. Yep, no swapping her heels for sneakers like in the movies. That's how much she loves them. After all, she's a fashion girly. "I like to express like being girly and being super feminine, and like dressing up. And so, I like to, show a little leg, show a little bit of skin, sometimes a little baggy with an oversized shirt. So I really just wake up and then I go from there," Cunningham once said, explaining her love for fashion. She has also talked about how the love for heels runs in her family. "I just think from a young age, like my mom is 5 feet 11 inches, my aunt is 6 feet 2 inches, we have just really tall women in our family that always wore heels and wore them proudly with their shoulders back. And so like me and my sister from a young age, like we always just wanted to wear heels and dress up and be tall and be confident," Sophie said before adding what kind of heels she loves the best. "And so I just think that I am not a kitten heel girl. I think some girls can pull it off, but I just look weird in them. So give me the tall heels, why not? Those heels are sometimes not comfortable, let me tell you, especially with some sprained ankles, but beauty is pain. So don't be surprised if she's back rocking her heels sooner than you'd think." Cunningham's never been one to hold back, not when she's battling on the court, and definitely not off it. Whether she's standing up for Caitlin Clark, calling out league officials, or voicing her frustrations with the WNBA's latest decisions. But will we see her rocking the Trace Letches t-shirt again? Will the Indiana Fever reunite the Trace Letches trio? Just like the rest of the league, the Indiana Fever is also in a very unpredictable situation. As things stand, they have just 3 players under contract for the next season: Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Michaela Timpson. Of course, the priority, just like last season, is going to be to re-sign Kelsey Mitchell. But besides her, 2 of the core pieces of the Indiana Fever, Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham, also need to be re-signed. Popularly known as the Trace Letches trio, the Fever front office will certainly want to bring the 2 back and ride it all again. Lexi Hull is currently a restricted free agent. For sure, both parties will be willing to get a deal done and continue their journey together. Lexi has openly spoken about her love for the franchise and willingness to come back next year. Coming to Sophie Cunningham, the scenario is much different. She is currently an unrestricted free agent, meaning she can sign with any team without the Indiana Fever having any control. While she has also spoken about how much she has enjoyed being a part of the Fever, she also said that she would consider all offers. And with almost the entire league about to enter free agency, the Fever might want to go for an upgrade. Sure, there might be a better player available, but as we've seen numerous times, team chemistry matters. With the close bond these 3 have, the Indiana Fever should, and most likely will, do anything they can to bring back as much of the roster from last year as possible. The Indiana Fever's locker room fell silent as the final buzzer echoed through Gainbridge Fieldhouse. It wasn't just another game in a long WNBA season. It was a night that changed everything. One awkward landing, One pained grimace, and suddenly the team's chemistry, rhythm, and morale all hung in the balance. For Caitlin Clark's teammate, one of the Fever's emotional anchors and emerging stars, the injury was more than just physical pain. It became a crossroads moment, one that forced her to confront the most difficult decision of her career: to rush back for the team's playoff push, or to take the time to heal, risking her place in the spotlight but protecting her future. A dream interrupted. It happened late in the third quarter. A sharp pivot on defense, a misstep, and then the unmistakable sound of anguish. Teammates rushed over as the crowd held its breath. Clark, usually composed even in chaos, knelt beside her friend, whispering encouragement as trainers arrived. The diagnosis, confirmed a day later, wasn't catastrophic, but it was serious enough to demand caution. A partial ligament strain, weeks of rehab, and the potential to worsen it if she returned too early. The Fever were in the midst of their best season in years, riding the wave of Clark's brilliance and the unity that had grown between teammates. Losing anyone, especially someone who had blossomed into a crucial two-way player, felt like a gut punch. But for the injured star, it wasn't just about missing games. It was about identity. Basketball wasn't just what she did, it was who she was. The weight of a decision. The WNBA calendar doesn't wait for anyone. Every game matters, every week carries playoff implications, and every minute counts toward shaping narratives and careers. For the Fever's wounded player, sitting out wasn't an easy option. She had fought too hard for her spot in the starting lineup, too long to be seen as more than just a role player in Caitlin Clark's orbit. "Do I risk it or rest it?" she confided to a reporter quietly after the diagnosis, her eyes betraying the conflict within. The Fever's medical staff urged patience. Clark, ever the supportive teammate, told her, "We need you for the long run, not just the next game." But those words, kind and G,